On everybody, welcome back. Civil war or politics? We're just going to be discussing today because of everything going on between all of the executive orders and everything else that the bad orange man is doing. It's leading us to a question: are we going into a civil war? Or is this just politics? And I have this up here, which is really funny, so I figured I'd share it with everybody. Good old The Office, one of Jim's old whiteboard presentations here. When you're finding fraud and somebody yells "stop," that's who's doing the fraud. And it seems like that's what's probably going on right now. See everybody's arms up and flailing about this and that and this spending. And Elon Musk can't do this because he's not part of the government, but he was hired by the executive branch to do work for the government, not knowing that, this government efficiency department was pretty much installed years and years ago. Um, a long time ago. You can thank Barack Obama. Before that, you can thank Bill Clinton. They all had their own little departments of government efficiency that went in to try to cut spending. It amazes me nowadays that we're 30 years ahead, and all of a sudden now this is a big issue. This is the problem that we shouldn't be allowing government cuts and getting rid of the waste. And it's just mind boggling to me, absolutely mind boggling. And it's a very, very true statement. Usually the ones that are saying stop, 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 they're the ones that are doing the crime. And it's just, I think the American people are really, really getting sick of it. Because I know I am personally. I don't know if anyone else is. However, I'm sick and tired of going around and hearing that we need to be PC basically with everything. We got to be politically correct with everything. We have to make sure that we're doing everything the right and proper way. And then on top of it, we got to pay homage to the country that's been telling us to do so. And nothing for nothing. My tax dollars every year got to go to things, a gigantic list from USAID. It's a little ridiculous. I mean, just just to give you an idea, I'm gonna pull up the list here. This is the list from USAID. Okay, this is all the different programs, all of the different institutions, all of the companies, everything possible that works with USAID has some sort of form of their name on there, part of their managed by their invest company. Okay. It's a lot of investments that I don't think I authorized. This is country ran by the people for the people. And I didn't ask these people to invest in Collaborate Up or COSA LLC. Don't know what any of these do. African Management Institute, Aga Khan Fund. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And I'm looking through all of these right now, and it's like I didn't get a memo in the mail. Did you get a memo in the mail? I must have missed it. May have been a couple months ago. I don't really know. However, to let us know about the expense report that we've all been spending our hard-earned tax dollars on. Why does the NYU School of Law need money from USAID? Anybody? Shoot me a comment down below because I'm pretty much stuttering over the fact that I don't know why that's on there. Yeah, geez. NORC at the University of Chicago, we're investing in all of these American institutions. At least we're investing in that, right? I'm sure there's probably nothing nefarious about investing into different major cities' law schools and their universities. And it's just growth to market. What's growth to market? What market? Are we seeing part of that market? I would love to see part of that market. Are we getting part of that market money? Because I think that we all should probably, in all of these investments, we need to all see our dividends. All 328 million of us need to have a dividend paid out to us for all of these great investments, these winning investments that have just been put into our, what's the word I'm looking for? That have been put into our sphere. We'll just say that for right now, have been brought to light, have become the truth, have become the real, actual, hard facts. And I didn't want to believe it. I was hoping, even though I was wanting this to happen, just wanted to really believe that they were going to go in there and say, hey, guess what? We found nothing. Everything is fine. Nothing to see here. We made a mistake. And that's about it. And we move about our days. That's not the case. It's definitely not the case at this point. And it's leaving the lovely leaders that we have. And just to give you an example, one of our lovely, voted in leaders, like, we'll just say like Elizabeth Warren, right? How is she worth $8 million? Okay. You can get paid a six-figure salary, I think, if that. It's amazing how these all make the millionaire club and how they're just doing so well. Yet every single one who is making a huge amount of killing and profit are all up in arms right now in regards to the Doge crackdown. And the Doge crackdown, I have to say, we all voted for it. I personally voted for it. I knew it was coming and I wanted it to happen. And I'm sure every single one of you who are out there wanted this to happen. And my shoes were on someone else's feet. And I was wearing their life for a day in the skin of them on my body. Creepy. A little weird, right? However, if I'm walking around, say, like Elizabeth Warren, and I know that I have profited off of certain things, and then someone goes in and is like, "Hey, this isn't right. What are you profiting off of this for? You're not supposed to be making 6 million or $6 million for whatever X, Y, and Z." Yeah, I don't think I would want someone to catch that either, especially if I'm a public servant, an elected official, somebody who we chose, supposedly, quote unquote, to be representing a large body of people, i.e., a state. Elizabeth Warren from Massachusetts, you are one of the people who I like to say are a shame. We should give you the walk of shame from where you have come from. And it's just sad because in the end of the day, we're all looking at a lot more expensives throughout the next, I would say, several years. And it is mind boggling to me. And it's funny at the same time because you get people going on national TV acting like, oh, we didn't see this coming. Why is he doing this? Why is this going on? I don't know why. And then you get things like this fun little put together compilations of just complaints and complaints and complaints on why this is going on. And it's all the usual suspects. Let's just see them up in the air for just a couple minutes. Violent. So dramatic. She looks like that she's ready to cry every time she gets up. Every time she gets on TV. See? They're calling it. Isn't that a sh I think that's key right there, what you just said. Not sure what they have on us. Yes, you should know. I bet you do know. You definitely you definitely know what they have on you because you did whatever you did, and now you're going saying, "I didn't do anything," to try to plead the fifth, and there's a reason why you don't know what they have on you is because they don't want you to know because when the time comes for you to pay the piper, you're going to find out then. So until then, you may want to just continue to think on your sins for now and why the American people are continuing to support all of this. That's a lie. There isn't a possibility of violence. All of these people, by the way, they all look exhausted. Every single one of them's eyes can barely stay open. It looks like they got circles under their eyes, and it is stress is eating them away, and they just need to go away for maybe a month to a retreat somewhere. I know an island. This man owned this island, had wonderful amenities there on this island. I think some of you have been there before. I don't remember the name. It might come to me later. Not really sure, but you may want to just consider taking a vacation there for a little bit. I heard that they have some amazing amenities that a lot of you people may really enjoy. Tired there, Jeff. Joaquin Jeffries. You look tired, man. So haggard. Just look so haggard, man. Look at them. They all look haggard. Look there. I don't think dastardly deeds is a crime for impeachment, by the way. Actually, I'm 100% sure that dastardly deeds is not a crime punishable by treason. It's not charged for treason there. I don't even know what dastardly deeds are. No, you keep doing that. So what? What? Did he just say what I think he just said? You don't go on TV. I don't care. It doesn't come out right. I just caught that. People are aroused, and they haven't been for a very long time. I don't know if he's speaking for himself personally. People are aroused. He is aroused up, Junior. He is ready. People are calling for violence. All of them calling for violence. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Shout out to Alex Jones for putting that compilation together. Yeah, it's this is why I titled it the way I did. Civil War, or is it just politics? Because is it really just politics at this point that we're all just sitting around yelling at each other, screaming instead of fixing the problems? I don't think so. Um, to be very honest with you, I really think at this point that this needs to happen. It needs to continue to play out. And it needs to play out the way that it needs to, as in just let the ball roll. I think the people who are trying to interfere and are trying to bring some sort of reasoning to their actions will just say they're the ones going out and the ones saying that we need to stop Donald Trump. We need to stop Elon Musk. We need to stop the violence. We need to create violence to stop the violence, which is just very confusing in a sense. And really, really at this point, I don't like to go on the TV every single day. And I'm sure you guys don't either. You're just basically going on TV to try to get some of the news. And instead, you have your leaders who you voted for, tax dollars go to, and they have taken many actions to rewrite the historical principles of this country to satisfy their needs to the point where the interest of the people have been completely shot for man, it looks like many many years, maybe since modern America has been around. And I'm not trying to blame it on one side because everyone needs to know it's not just one side either. It's not just the Democratic side. It's not just the Republican side. It's both. And it has nothing to even do with the fact of the political sides themselves. What it really boils down to, a prime example of this is, you know, Mitch McConnell, for instance. Why are you voting against all the Republicans? If this was, something that you wanted to really have happen and you really believe, then there would be a reasoning for you to continue to vote. And this is something that you would want um, your constituents to have you adhere by. However, that is not the case. And we noticed that the swamp rhinos, the swamp people on the left, and all of the others in between who have something to hide are the ones who are squawking the loudest, and the ones calling for violence, the ones who are wanting violence and are pushing for the violence. And whether it's a civil war or civil strife, I mean, I definitely would say that we're in the strife category at this point. But the amount of fraud, the amount of waste, everything else that has gone into these institutions, I would say, these governmental programs, they need to be gone. And that's the bottom line, is that they're going to be gone. And as much as everyone wants to continue to go onto social media, go onto the mainstream media, and without just doing 5 minutes of research, I mean, I went right onto the USAID website just to pull up that pamphlet for you of all the invested companies, right? That our money is going to. It takes 5 minutes just to do that. And I don't know how people are going on TV and expressing to hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people, things that just aren't the case. Because at this point, you're saying that these are needed programs. This is going to completely dismantle everything that we're doing around the world. And yeah, it kind of is, because of the fact that none of these countries really want us there to be doing drag time show and Sri Lanka. And uh I know that the condom thing wasn't quoted right, or isn't accurate information. However, a lot of the other spending going around to other countries to try to manipulate their culture, try to manipulate the way that they run, overthrowing leaders. And as much as everyone wants to say that USAID is doing good around the world, the people who are backing up all of these actions, shame, shame. And the biggest shame should be knowing that we live in the day and age where we're all connected through the World Wide Web, and you still think you can get away with it. I mean, the platforms that we have, everything, we're all sharing information at such a quick speed that bringing it all back, right? They can't keep up. So the problem is that the fast pace between the media, the way information moves, and is streamlined these days. Every single person, swamp creatures, the rhinos, all of the old heads, because that's the bottom line of this whole conversation, is in the end of the day, it is these 30-year, 40-year career politicians sitting in office thinking that politics is a career when it is not. It is a civil duty that someone does some part of their life when they feel like, okay, you know what? I think I need to make some sort of change in our community and I'm going to run for this position. But instead, people have sat there their entire lives. And now that we're having someone go in and try to make some efficiency into our tax dollars, so we're not $34 trillion in debt, because nothing for nothing, you're going to die in 5 years. I still have 45, 50 years left on this planet. Thanks for leaving it a POS for everyone else. And only because of the fact that you're greedy and you don't give a crap about this country. You only care about your pockets, your wallet, and everything else that's in between that has to just do with you. And instead of worrying about the people like you were elected to, instead you have sat there on your high chair the entire time, filling the world with BS lies and sitting there telling everyone else those BS lies as the truth. And for many years, you've gotten away with it so long we have gotten just lied to. And we've all believed it because the control of NBC, ABC, CBS, CNN, all of those letter acronyms there for all the different stations, you failed us. Every single one of you have failed us. Your viewership is completely gone. People don't care about tuning into the news. And that's because no one wants to have to go onto the news and then go back onto the internet to fact check everything, because that's annoying. That is so annoying to do when people would rather just go into one outlet and figure out that they're getting honest information, honest answers, and that's it. But instead, no, you got to put some sort of crazy counter narrative with maybe some half truths, quarter truths sometimes, and then run with it. And forget about defamation. Apparently, defamation is just something that is not liable for anybody anymore. I mean, personally speaking, I'm in journalism, and that was like a big part of intro to journalism, was talking about defamation and being liable for defamation. And nobody is being brought up for that. Everyone can just spew whatever the heck they want and have no accountability for it anymore. And you shouldn't have woke the beast. You guys kept shaking the bear up. He was in his hibernation. You still went after the man. And I'm glad you did, because I don't think I could have went the rest of my life in this country with my head in the sand, apparently, without having any of this exposed. And I'm very glad that all of this has been brought to light. Nothing for nothing, too. We're going to continue to see this probably get much worse. And I don't really know what the reaction is going to be with many people who have really, truly believed in this movement or cause with the Democratic side for all these years. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm an independent voter. I know the way that I'm speaking, it seems like it's right wing, but that's the problem, is that everything is, if you're not part of the one side, you're right winged. And that's just not the case. I think probably maybe 70%, maybe even more voters are mainly an independent mind. We're not some sort of mindless lemmings. And the bottom line is I think more and more people are pushing towards that. And they're pushing towards that to the point to get away from ridiculous laws that I found, which this is probably the most ridiculous one now that they're push. So instead of you know, being women for having abortions, being in charge of that, which you know, just have abortions in that state instead of now trying to criminally charge men for ejaculating. That's not we don't. This is that all of this should be really simple. Women should be able to do what they want with their bodies, and so should men. No one should be able to dictate whether uh, there is reason for you to basically have to suffer when you have some sort of medical illness. The baby might be stillborn. You have to go through that kind of process. Yeah, there are a lot of reasons why an abortion may be necessary. However, there are just weird things going on with trying to push back, and it's like everybody we've gone from one extreme to another so much that I think for myself, and I'm sure a lot of people will agree with this, is that we just want to go back to being normal. We don't want to be hearing about this and that every other day, whether Donald Trump's done this, Elon's done that, Maxine Waters is going in front of the Department of Education. And it's just, can you guys actually do your jobs instead of doing high school, middle school things? I mean, at this point, it's childish. It is so childish that none of you should have a salary. None of you should be paid. Nobody at all should be making the money that they are from the taxpayers. And the bottom line is that I'm sick of it. And we all are. And I hope that it starts to get a little bit better here because I think that this government efficiency thing is great. It needs to cut down a lot of the waste. Now, do I feel like some of the things are affecting me? Sure. But I know that they're going to come back at some point. Just for an instance, I went over in my podcast, The Cube, last night. We were talking a little bit about some of the NOAA products that aren't available at the moment. Well, nothing for nothing. Some of them are missing, but a lot of them are not. What I did find very interesting, and if you do check out the episode, we did stumble upon the USAID link on NOAA's website, directly on their website. Click on it, and it's not accessible. Oh, look at that. Some of the products there too are available as well, but I know that they're going to come back because they're just sifting through some of the other waste that's on these websites. And it mainly has to do with the USAID, and USAID was linked to NOAA. So they have to now fix that infrastructure. And just hearing complaints about these products aren't going to be available anymore and Donald Trump's taking these away from us is just sorely not the case. Just the fact that they're trying to fix a lot of the bureaucratic garbage that our hard-earned dollars are going to. And we're going to continue to see people going around spewing BS about every little thing that the orange man does. Look, like him. Look at this man. Everyone loves Harry Sisson. Okay, just let the Super Bowl go. But he's gonna complain about every little thing this man does. Just come up with some solutions to problems. So it is a good question. They probably did ask him because they were probably like, "Why didn't you do it sooner?" "Oh, I couldn't because I wasn't in office yet." So it's just very mind-boggling to me that this is all we can come up with here. He constantly is complaining. I mean, just we're gonna just see this more and more and more and more, and people are just upset, people are happy, people are sad, people are leaving the country, and people are coming back. And I'm going to leave it up to everybody else to decide. I don't really know where we're going to be heading. I really think that we're in some sort of civil strife because of the way that our leaders are acting. However, I wish we could just get a band of all of us together and be like, you guys are all fired because none of you are doing your jobs. And that's all we really want is just the country to be ran efficiently and to where we are not the ones paying for everything. And we are. And until that ends, this is going to continue. The angry people who are caught up on the left, the right, you have the happy people who are caught up from the left and the right. And it's really not a battle anymore about left and right. It's really, really not. This is a sight. This is now this the battle of whether you believe in doing right and whether you believe in doing wrong. And whether you want to live in one of those worlds. I'll leave it at that. Just make sure that you guys follow me down below. Make sure you like and subscribe, share with your friends, let everyone know about what's going on. And I will catch everybody in the next one. Everyone enjoy the rest of your day. Happy Friday and happy Valentine's.